In this episode, I round off my trip in Fuding by heading to the coast. Along the way, we'll find out the simple secret to creating vintage white tea, join in some fun and games with a group of ethnic Sure people, and learn just what it means to live off the sea. Welcome back to Fuding, home of China's white tea. This is Diantou Town, and as usual, the local market is bustling.
It's a very lively tea market here, isn't it? I think everyone's just come out with their fresh crop. You can barely even squeeze through this place. Oh. This guy's a big cheese, eh? 都是好茶叶。一般是怎么看这质量好，质量不好？
叶子小一点
啊，
质量就好。
看这个茶叶。
果茶。
好茶的，哦，您不要是吗？这个啊。
年轻啊，普通话讲不来，
哦，
人家讲不来。
这是您自己采的？
是我妈的。
您妈采的？这个是怎么卖啊？咱们这茶叶
2块多吧。
2块多。
一斤2块多。
怎么能看出来这个茶叶好啊？
它这个叶子小的，
叶子小的，比如说呢？
叶子大了就不好，就这个意思。
这个是能做成茶吗？
可以。
可是就是
再粗的也可以做。
哦。What do you think? Is this worth 120 RMB for a sack of this? I don't know. It does seem really cheap for all the labour that goes into getting one of these. I mean, they have to do it for the entire day. And I guess it's very heavy to carry it all the way down the mountain too.
这个比较好一点。
那个好一点啊。But, you know, trade is good. We'll see.
茶这边的土质很好，茶那个很甜，别的地方那个没有味道。
是吧？She's buying up the whole place. I guess maybe it is a bit different. This does look a lot prettier than other teas I've seen. Who knows?
Once the fresh leaves have been brought back, they're laid out to be sun-dried on racks like these.
Oh, it smells so good. You know, China's tea culture stems back thousands of years, but at the root of it all is this one little plant. From here on up is one grade of tea. From here on up is another. And right here at the top, that one little sprout is the most expensive of all. Tastes like $1 billion industry.
After processing, the tea leaves are packaged into discs, each weighing exactly 350 grams, and go straight into storage. They're grouped according to age, just like good wine. Over time, the tea leaves naturally ferment, giving the vintage white tea a slightly stronger, smokier aroma. Next stop, Shuanghua village, a 30-kilometer drive from Fuding. I'm here to visit some Sure people, one of the lesser-known ethnic minorities in China. Most of their 70,000 strong population live in the Fujian-Zhejiang area. They make a living from farming, which is appropriate since sure means slash and burn agriculture.
这个在做什么呢？炒咸啊。
以前那时候老人家都是穿这个鞋的，会滑，知道吗？
半个小时。It takes him, okay, so about half an hour to make one of these. By the looks of it, it's actually quite intricate, the way that it's been weaved. He has some kind of weird wooden stick that he attaches to his waist as a belt to keep everything tight, so that he can slowly weave everything into place. And they used to wear this. It's actually not so bad, actually. 这个现在我就不知道怎么记了，您告诉我一下。So they used to wear this all the time, but because it's made of natural material, when it rains, it'll rot. And obviously nowadays, it's so much easier just to buy a pair of modern shoes that you can use for much longer. When I saw it, there were lots and lots of little sticks sticking out, and I thought it would be really quite tough on the foot, but actually very comfortable, not bad.
那鞋穿起来还给你按摩。
哎呦呵，我是感觉这个鞋越来越好，挺舒服，挺舒服。
你若唔使开声我要我人冇应当受害哟，是我表兄啊并冇用我拜老命相啊就是我哟。
唱得好，唱得好。
哇！
Like many of China's ethnic minorities, the She style of singing is probably best described as improvised. Basically, people just sing what they want to say to each other, so entire conversations are carried out in song. It's like a Disney musical come true. In the old days, young She men and women would serenade each other through song. Now, the reason we're trying to press gang this poor old lady into singing is because she used to be a celebrated singer. Let's see if we can coax her into giving us a rendition. And of course, no gathering is complete without food. What we're making and eating here is a kind of cake made out of sticky rice. You might have seen them being made in a similar way in other parts of Asia, pounded into a spongy dough and pressed into wooden templates of animals. The phoenix, for example, which is the She animal totem of choice.
I feel kind of awkward eating this while everyone's hard at work, but it really is quite tasty. It's just pure glutinous rice, that's it. But it tastes
Very fresh, very sticky, but it doesn't stick to your gums. And it's great to see how these, old snacks are still being used today.
Actually, these sticky cakes serve another purpose. The dough that's left over is made into various shapes as offerings to the gods. For example, this one is a candle holder. Seems like everyone sings in falsetto. But I can't help thinking it might get a bit embarrassing for the entire village to hear what you're singing about.
你们刚才是在唱什么呢呀？
唱山歌啊，什么情歌？
啊，
是情歌。
你们俩是夫妻俩吧？
我们不是。
不是，还唱情歌呀？
情歌，我们经常唱情歌嘛。
你们那个
姐妹的情歌嘛。
你们这个是背下来的歌，还是自己随时发挥？
是自己想的。
自己
想出来唱了。
就是等于像聊天似的。人家一边编着一边唱着歌，那家里的秘密不都唱出去了吗？大家都听见了。
对呀，都唱出来嘛。什么意思都要唱出来给大家听嘛。
啊。
爱你那来老不要太老，问比那东南西北多呀。还有好干哈，东表香路，用海路，用海路。
And the cameraman gets in on the act too. Seems like everyone's only too happy to share their 2 cents. Last but not least, a Sure puppet show. Although puppetry is quite common across southern China, the Sure have their own specialty. The puppet master is the unsung hero of the show. With just a flick of his finger, he transforms a wooden doll attached to 20-something strings into an elegant lady, able to pour tea and serve it to her guests. The movements are small, delicate and precise, and mimic the movements we make in everyday life.
见谁呢？
谢谢啊。
Coming up next, ever wondered what it's like to live in a real water world? I'll take you to a floating community that lives, eats and sleeps all year round out at sea. In this episode, I round off my trip in Fuding by heading to the coast. Along the way, we'll find out the simple secret to creating vintage white tea, join in some fun and games with a group of ethnic Sure people, and learn just what it means to live off the sea.
You know, the past couple of days I've been eating some of the freshest seafood I've had in my life here in Fuding, and I figured, why not go visit the people who supply our food? But to get to their homes, bit of a commute involved. Ugh. There we are! This is our destination, the fisherman's home on the sea. This is something else, isn't it? It's literally water world. I mean, these fishermen live out here all year round, and I've been told that besides typhoons, they eat here, they sleep here, they go to the toilet here. You know, this is their world.
Not quite on the tourist radar yet, this floating community near Xuancheng village is actually a fish farm. There are some 50 households tending the fish here, and although they do have homes back on land, they spend most of their time here.
I guess it does smell like fish, seeing as it is made out of fish, but you know how the saying goes, big fish eat little fish eat shrimp, shrimps eat algae, and then algae, I guess, I don't know, process everything else. I don't want to eat this though. I was wrong earlier. I thought that the fish paste was for all fish. Turns out no, they're for little ones, and you know, when your basket's this big, you're going to have to feed them bigger fish. 2-3千条鱼啊，那这等于这个网是很深了吧？
深啊，深度还有10米深。
那他们要长到10多斤得用多长时间呢？
要2年多3年左右。
哇，比如说养一条鱼养到10斤，那咱们成本是多少？
成本呢？它这个1斤的鱼，这个料要8斤吃。
劲儿够大的，其实还不如直接把这筐子直接倒进去就完了呢。
全部倒上去，如果吃不够快的话，沉下去它就不会吃的。
啊，那这也就浪费。
要慢慢喂。
Here we go。嘿，真快。
这一筐把它。
这一筐完了啊。Check that out! That is one monster of a bass. There you go, fishy. Elusive these guys are. Hey! Ah, that's the last one.
如果他捞的话，一下就可以捞5、6条，那个技巧就比较好。
鲨鱼吃饭，大家在这儿吃饭。
So the one thing I'm most curious about is how these fishermen live, and I got special permission from the owner of this house to come in and have a look-see. Come see how these guys live on the sea, right? Now this must be the lobby where they can eat food, have dinner, chat and all that. Oh, look over here. They've even got a kitchen too. Massive freezer for all the fish they have, and then they can cook dinner, they can cook breakfast, whatever, over there on the stove. But let's see. The most important question for me is, how are you supposed to do your business? There we go, the mystery is solved. So if you need to, if you've drunk too much water or you need to get rid of some excess weight, all you have to do, just plonk right into the sea.
I hear restaurants are in the works here, but in the meantime, if you want to experience life out at sea, there are plenty of dining opportunities and other fishing communities along Fuding's coast. Coming up next, I'm in for a roller coaster ride as I make my way to Yushan Island, where I find out just what the local fishermen do during off-season.
Well, it's raining and choppy as hell, but we just managed to catch the last ferry to Yushan Island, which is going to be another 30 minutes. Hopefully we'll get there without throwing up all over the place.
I'm here because this place was voted one of the most beautiful islands in China. Just don't forget to bring the motion sickness pills.
Check it out, looks like the sea, right? But it's not. This is actually a lake in the middle of Yushan Island. And I've got to say, it's the first time I've seen an island like this, completely covered in grass. Doesn't even feel like we're out at sea. But we are. It's amazing. Whoa! Well, can't say I'm very fond of this weather we're having, but when the weather is actually much better and there's no fog, you can see all the way out to sea. But at least for us right now, we can see this, the little sky lake. That's basically formed from all of this rain that rolls down the hills. It is quite a sight to behold. It's just a shame that we can't see the rest of the sea over there. Hate the rain. Pretty happy I got this hotel actually. It's like a safe haven from all of the elements. But even though it was so wet up there, the wind was pretty cool. It was like almost about to blow me out to sea. But I hear you can camp here when the weather is better, and that would look, I'm pretty sure, very, very nice. But for me now, what's most important is to have this nice snug bed so I can warm myself up, because my underwear is wet. It's not very comfortable.
The rain quite literally puts a dampener on things, but there's always one thing we can do.
反正这个味儿挺香的。饿了，反正这味儿特香。Well, got a couple more hours until our boat comes, and just going to sit down to have lunch now, which is clever because by the time the boat comes, the water's going to be even more rocky. You don't want to throw up everything you've just eaten. You're going to let our food settle on our stomachs first. But starving right now. 哦，你们出去捕鱼了？没有啊？哦，船停了是吗？哦，这样的。那等于现在就一直等着，等到
休息的时候
啊，
人家船都进来。
哦。那这几月就不出去打鱼了吧？那就天天休息，在这里玩的。生活不是挺舒服的。
Though the island is starting to get popular with tourists, mainly backpackers, 80% of the people here still rely on fishing to survive. In the off-season, there's simply not much to do, except roll up the nets and watch the days go by. To me, the island feels a bit isolated, but the locals say they rarely bother venturing to the mainland. As for me, I'm back at the port, making sure I don't miss my one ferry home today.
Look at that! You know, I guess when it's not raining here, the scenery is really beautiful. Looks like you can even camp at the bottom of the lake too, but I guess I'll have to save it for next time. But looks like my ferry's here.